Hey, Joe Guyver again, doing a little bit on communications. Any form of communication can be traced. Don't let anybody fool you. Don't think you can out fool somebody else. Just keep that in mind. You got visual communication, use of mirrors, which I carry several of. Here's three of the larger versions. Flashlights using Morse code. Mirrors can be used in the same way. Those for visual, and then for audio communications, you've got CB radios, two-way radios, ham radios. All these are options. There's always somebody out there who's going to be able to find out what you're saying on one form or the other of these. You got to keep this in mind. Don't send anything you don't want anybody to know. Any vital information that you don't need anybody else knowing, as far as your location or anything like that, use code. Say, oh, I'm down by the Fox Hollow. The Fox Hollow isn't actually a hollow where the fox is. The Fox Hollow is that grassy knoll on the other side of the hollow, so that you can actually see people trying to get to that position. Also, communicate and move. Don't stay in one spot. Anybody with a more sophisticated radio system is going to know exactly where you are as soon as you key this mic in. They're going to be able to trace you within a few feet with one radio device, and if you have they use two radio devices to track you, they're going to be able to track you within minutes, within a few inches. So you don't want that to happen, so don't use those unless you have to. This is my primary form of communication, be it the flashlight or the mirrors. It's a visual aid communication, which still gives away your position, but only to those in line of sight. Line of sight's fairly important when you're out in the woods. If you're out in a search party, you want to maintain line of sight so you know you've searched the same grounds, other people have searched the ground that you can't search, things of that nature. But in my eyes, line of sight's the best form of communication. But radio communication can be important also, which is why I've set this base unit up. It's actually a mobile CB. It's got a little 12-volt power supply I've hooked up on it. It's just two little scooter batteries. Little motorized scooter I ripped down and found a use for the batteries. I'm actually going to mount this into a box with a hand crank generator on it. That way I have constant power. Don't have to worry about keeping my batteries charged as much. But yeah, these are just a few of the little things you may want to consider. Two-way radios are always nice, but the distance you get out of them isn't that great. Same with the mobile CB. It's nice. The distance isn't wonderful, but if you can get out there a quarter mile to a mile from where you are and communicate with somebody, that does a hell of a lot better than hooting and hollering. So when the stuff hits the fan, you may want to consider a few of these items to make sure you have them in your pack. Until then, keep calm and prep on. Have a good one.